Benjamin Whittaker entered the world in the summer of 1997, born in England. While he showed promise academically, his success in school brought little satisfaction to his father, a former boxer. From an early age, it became apparent that Ben's true strengths lay in sports rather than in academics. His father, recognizing this, gave him an ultimatum when he turned 15. "Listen, you have to choose between football and boxing," his father said bluntly. "I won't sugarcoat it. You're terrible at football." With that, Ben turned his focus to boxing. It didn't take long for him to realize he had a natural flair for the sport. His lean frame, quick reflexes, and disciplined work ethic helped him develop a unique fighting style. Ben combined active footwork with precise head movement, making him incredibly difficult to hit. While he never shied away from a brawl, he preferred a calculated, sniper-like approach, carefully picking his shots and breaking opponents down methodically. His hard work paid off when he captured 2 national championship titles before turning 20. As he grew taller, reaching 6'3", Ben learned to use his physical attributes to his advantage. Competing in the 165-pound division, he developed a long, effective jab that kept opponents at bay. His natural power and technical prowess earned him recognition, and before long, people began taking notice of the young fighter. His sharp boxing IQ and entertaining style drew comparisons to some of the sport's greats. It wasn't just his skills that made him a rising star. His charisma and confidence made him a media favorite. Even heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua took notice, praising Ben's precision in front of none other than Floyd Mayweather. However, every boxer faces setbacks, and for Ben, that moment came against Ukrainian fighter Oleksandr Kizhniak. A future Olympic gold medalist, Kizhniak was an aggressive, high-pressure fighter who pushed Whittaker to his limits. In their 2017 European Championship clash, Ben initially controlled the fight with his movement and counterpunching, making his opponent miss repeatedly. But when pressured into a firefight, he abandoned his disciplined approach, engaging in a toe-to-toe battle that ultimately cost him the decision. Rather than dwell on the defeat, Ben took it as a learning experience. He moved up to the 178-pound light heavyweight division and refined his style, transforming into a slick outboxer. Over the next 3 years, he amassed victories at the European and World Championships, proving that he was among the best amateurs in the world. His Olympic dream, however, was threatened by the postponement of the 2020 Games due to the pandemic. On top of that, tragedy struck when his beloved grandmother passed away. Devastated, Ben considered withdrawing from competition altogether. "I was very close to quitting," he later admitted. "I'd actually decided not to go, but my dad reminded me that my grandmother would have wanted me to fight, so I had to go." When the Olympics finally took place in Tokyo in 2021, Ben showcased his elite skills, winning his first 3 matches to secure a spot in the semifinals. His next challenge was Russian powerhouse Imam Kataev, a feared puncher who had already scored a brutal knockout in an earlier round. Despite Kataev's reputation, Ben's jab and footwork neutralized the Russian's offense for 2 rounds, forcing him to swing wildly and miss. Ben's tactical dominance earned him a spot in the final. In the gold medal bout, he faced Arlen Lopez, a Cuban southpaw known for his exceptional technical ability and knockout power. To make matters worse, Ben entered the fight with a compromised shoulder, forcing him to rely almost entirely on his left hand. Lopez, sensing an opportunity, switched stances and landed a series of right hands that put Whittaker on the back foot. Despite the pain, Ben adapted and made the fight competitive in the later rounds. The judges ultimately awarded Lopez the win in a split decision. Overcome with emotion, Ben refused to wear his silver medal, a decision he later regretted. "I wanted gold," he explained, "but looking back, I should have been proud of what I accomplished." His transition to the professional ranks was delayed due to shoulder surgery. While sidelined, he embraced his love for music and even dabbled in entertainment, appearing at events and sparring with social media influencers. But boxing remained his priority. In early 2022, he signed with Boxer, a promotional company airing fights on Sky Sports. "I'll fight anyone," Ben declared. "I'll make sure I win, and I'll put on a show doing it." For his professional debut, he teamed up with legendary trainer Sugar Hill Stewart, known for coaching Tyson Fury. That summer, Ben made his highly anticipated pro debut against Greg O'Neill. Right from the start, he established his dominance, using his jab to control the distance and frustrate O'Neill. His movement and defense were flawless, leaving his opponent swinging at air. By the second round, Ben's superior skill set was on full display. A well-timed right hook sent O'Neill crashing to the canvas, securing Whittaker's first professional victory. 3 weeks later, he fought on the undercard of Anthony Joshua's rematch with Usyk in Saudi Arabia. Facing Croatian fighter Petar Nosic, whom he had previously defeated in the amateurs, Ben delivered another masterclass in boxing. Even though a lingering shoulder issue forced him to rely primarily on his right hand, he still dominated, winning a clear decision. After an 8-month layoff, Ben returned with a vengeance, facing Jordan Grant. Dressed in leopard print trunks, in tribute to Prince Nassim Hamed, he put on a dazzling performance. His showboating and unorthodox movements frustrated Grant, and in round 3, Ben landed a picture-perfect left hook that ended the fight instantly. In his next fight, he took on Vladimir Belutsky, a rugged Slovakian brawler with a high knockout rate. From the opening bell, Whittaker outclassed him, using precise body shots and slick head movement. By round 5, Belutsky had little left to offer, and in the final round, Ben delivered the finishing blow, securing yet another highlight reel knockout. As 2023 came to a close, Ben faced his toughest test yet, Stephen Dreadhay, a physically imposing fighter with an 11-2 record. Although Ben controlled the early rounds, Dreadhay had his moments, landing a few solid shots. However, by round 4, Whittaker had fully figured him out. A brutal right hand sent Dreadhay to the canvas, and the fight was stopped shortly after. By 2024, Ben's momentum was undeniable. He set his sights on a title, and in preparation, he fought Khalid Gradia, a durable journeyman. From the start, Whittaker dominated, breaking down his opponent with sharp counters and body shots. After an impressive knockdown in round 2, he continued to overwhelm Gradia, forcing the referee to step in. His viral performances had gained him millions of social media followers, setting up a showdown against fellow Brit Leon Willings. Walking out with a Naruto-inspired entrance, Ben immediately took control of the fight. A knockdown in round 1 set the tone, but Willings proved tougher than expected, pushing Whittaker in the later rounds. Nevertheless, Ben's class showed through, and he secured a unanimous decision victory, earning him a title shot. In June, he faced undefeated Nigerian Ezra Arona for an IBF minor belt. Arona, a trash-talking power puncher, tried to rattle Whittaker, but once in the ring, Ben's superior skill was evident. He controlled the fight, dodging wild swings and landing precise counters. Despite Arona's repeated fouls, including a headbutt and an elbow strike, Whittaker kept his composure, winning a comfortable decision. With a $200,000 payday and a new belt, Ben had cemented himself as a rising star. "I won clean," he said. He tried to turn it into UFC, but I stuck to boxing. Now 27, Ben Whittaker is closing in on the top of the light heavyweight division. With Russian champions Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev reigning supreme, the question remains: can Whittaker challenge the elite? With his youth, skill, and growing fan base, the future is bright for Britain's most charismatic rising star. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell for more awesome future videos.